Hi, my name is Victor Zashev, and this video is for any stutterers out there who aren't sure if they should even take the language exam because it costs money, who aren't sure if their stutter will hold them back from passing the exam. Well, today I'm going to show you that no, it will not hold you back because I managed to achieve level C2 and points in the 98th percentile of my own exam, and I stutter. So here's the proof. It's a screenshot from the website. Here you can see 206 points, and here are the detailed points per module. So there are 5 modules, and the final score of the whole exam is the average of all these 5 parts. And I'm sure that you know this already if you're planning to take this exam. And for more proof, here is my real life certificate. As you can see, level C2 and 206 points. Now that you know that I'm not scamming you, I'm not making this up, I'm going to tell you that being a stutterer doesn't equal failing your exam. You can absolutely pass your exam and even achieve a high result, no problem, if you're a stutterer. But your stutter may just be an excuse to not prepare hard enough, to not put in the work beforehand. Like, do you think that you can deliver a good presentation without preparing first? Initially, of course, before you have evidence of your past success? No, you can't. You will stumble if you don't have any plan. You haven't rehearsed your material, for example. Or if you have a public reading, no, you will not succeed at first if you don't prepare. That's it. And studying for an English exam is no different. So let's look at it more in detail. So this is the Certificate of Advanced English exam. These are all the papers of this exam. And also all of this applies to the FCE too. So the FCE is an exam that you can take before this exam, and it signifies level B2 to C1, and CAE is C1 to C2. So the first paper is split into 2 parts, reading and use of English. And in this paper, of course, you have to read the text and then answer questions about that text. And you will have to form new words in the use of English part. You have to form new sentences. You have to know your prepositions, your verbs. But your stutter doesn't matter here. It's Your stutter has no meaning here. It's a written test. Then let's look at the writing. You have to create 2 pieces of writing in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Your stutter doesn't matter here also. Let's look at this then. Listening. You have to listen to an audio recording and you have to answer questions based on that recording. Well, your stutter doesn't stop you from listening, does it? And then the final part, speaking. You have to engage in conversation with your partner, with another student. You have to answer questions based on pictures. Okay, here your stutter does matter. After seeing this, what can you do to prepare? What is in your control? What can you do to ensure that no matter how much you fail the speaking part of the exam, you will still pass the whole thing? Because as I said, your final score is the average of the 5 parts. Well, you of course practice the 4 parts that don't require you to speak at all. Your stutter can't stop you from practicing these parts and can't stop you from succeeding in them, no matter how severe it is. So let me show you how I practiced. First, if you're currently visiting a language course, use these practice tests that the course gives you, if they give you one and if you attend one, of course. Or for the 100% free option, you don't have to visit any course, you don't have to buy any book. You can just use these free online resources. These two links are made for people to practice not only the CAE, the FC, the ELs, all of the language exams. The first link contains full tests, around 15 full tests. The second link contains only the use of English practice for the Cambridge exam. And both of these links I will include in the description of this video. Then, once you have somewhere to practice from, you maybe print out your tests from the site, or you do them in the website, or you have your booklet, then what you should do is practice all that you can. So reading, use of English, and listening, the three parts of the test, can be practiced completely at home, and you will become an expert at them just by doing 10 to 15 tests. Now, that is a lot of tests, because each test of reading and use of English takes around an hour and a half. Each listening takes around 40 minutes. So you have to put in time and effort. There's no going around that. But if you put in enough time, if you put in enough effort, you will start seeing patterns in these tests, and you will reduce the time that it takes you to do them. At the end, I managed to do a reading and use of English test for around 40 to 50 minutes. Then writing. This one really requires outside help. You can't do them completely at home, because I don't think that the website offers a writing check. But if you find one that does, that's just perfect. But for anyone else who doesn't have that option, you can just ask your English teacher nicely, and I'm sure that they will grade at least a few writings for you and give you feedback on what you can do to improve. And start doing this, start practicing these four parts of the test 2 weeks in advance if you want to have a relaxed time doing it, and if you can spare these 2 weeks. But if you're anything like me, just take 1 week from school. I took my week around the end of school, so nothing really was being done at school anyways. So I just sat at home, went to a quiet place like this room, and did practice tests like a crazy person. 3 per day, maybe 4 per day, 4 listenings per day, and I wrote actually 4 writings for around 2 days. I wrote them all, and then I gave them to my English teacher to grade them. And all of this, if you stick to this plan, these 4 parts of the test will be easy for you. You have absolutely no worries over them. After these tests, as I said, you will develop certain kinds of methods, algorithms, steps that you take to do them quickly and efficiently, and of course, correctly. So once you do 10-15 tests of reading, you'll pick up subconsciously what sentences in the text hold answers, and you will mark them with a pencil or a pen. Or in the use of English part of the test, you will start to realize that these tests keep repeating some kind of clauses over and over. And then when you're writing your 2 pieces of text, you realize that you don't have time for a full draft of 2 texts. You can't spend the time rewriting the text. So you decide to just make a plan of each paragraph, and this will take you around 10 to 15 minutes. So for these 10 to 15 minutes, you will not write a single word in your official answer sheet for the text. But after you make this plan, you just breeze through, because you now know each idea that you will mention in each paragraph. And then while you're listening, you may find out that the first thing that the speaker says is almost certainly not the correct answer. They always say it in a different way at the end of the recording, and then it's the correct one, the correct answer that you need to check. And I blitzed through these 4 parts on exam day. I just had no worries. I had maximum points on 2 of them. Then, the final part, the speaking part. You probably fear this part the most, right? You overthink these 15 minutes. That's the shortest part of the exam, only 15 minutes. But you keep overthinking that part. Don't worry, I did too, because us stutterers are experts at overthinking things that should be pretty easy to do and in reality are easy, but under certain conditions. And what are these conditions for this part of the test? Well, here's what helped me. This mindset that even if I failed the speaking part, even if I did not manage to score 180 points, that's the passing grade for the whole test, even if I did that, if I managed to score higher on the other 4 parts, I would still pass. And so this reduced my fear over this part of the test, and without using any breathing techniques or blocking techniques, because as I said, these techniques make me more stressed and anxious over the test. I scored 204 points out of 210. That's a lot. And let me tell you, my partner was stuttering more than me. She wasn't confident, but I can tell you for certain, if you are absolutely sure the other 4 parts you did great, the fear will diminish and you have a great time. Because if you haven't yet realized, you stutter the most when you can't afford to stutter. When if you stutter, it will have a bad outcome for you. But now, even if you fail the speaking part of the test, as I said, you will still pass your exam if you scored highly in the other 4 parts. That's all you need to do. That's all I did for 2 weeks before the exam. That's all I did to prepare. You shouldn't stress yourself further by overthinking. Maybe one day before the exam, take a breather. Don't do any more exercises. Just relax. And again, don't think that having a stutter will make you fail the test. It's not true. You may think that, but after you start going through the parts, you will realize that no, my exam shouldn't hold me back, no matter how severe it is. And also, if you have a really severe stuttering, you can't do nothing about it, well, then I would suggest telling the Cambridge interlocutor, the person who holds your speaking test, to just to inform him that you have a stutter and that you may need more time, and I'm sure that they will provide some kind of accommodation for you. But just for me to tell the truth, I did not do anything about it. I did not bring up my stutter once, and it did still do great without any added time, without any accommodations for me. But what if you want my help to absolutely destroy any fear you have over your stutter? To not let it bully you anymore, to not let it keep you in that depressive cycle that you have, overthinking your life, to not be embarrassed over it in school when you try to present and try to speak publicly. You can sign up for my coaching right now, where I one-on-one will guide you and give you feedback every step of the way of your stuttering self-improvement journey, because I was there. I know your pain. So book a call through Calendly and I will see you there. And for anyone else, I have made a video on all the things that I did to make sure that I no longer felt that school was hell for me, that school was the place where I would always get embarrassed, I would feel lonely, I would feel depressed. This guide, this full guide, which will be like a presentation just like this video, you can find right here in the upper right corner. Thank you for watching this full guide. If you found this helpful, you can subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, for more full guides like this. You can like the video to tell me that you want more of these presentation style videos made in the future. And you can watch this next for more stuttering self-improvement. And also, have a nice day, friend.